I thought I would start off this video with what was the prettiest meal of the week. Does this not look just so pretty and colorful? Just love how this looked. And I'll just go ahead and tell you, we loved how it tasted as well. This was so delicious, and bonus points, very, very quick to pull together. Very easy, but full of flavor. So let's get started here. What this actually is a lemon pesto cheese tortellini with chicken. But it sounds like a lot of ingredients, but it really wasn't. The lemon pesto came from a jar from Trader Joe's, and that packs such a flavor punch, let me tell you. But first off, I am just using this huge boneless, skinless chicken breast, and I only ended up using half of it because it was so big. And so I am just working here to get it all trimmed up, cut up into small bite-sized pieces that I am going to fry up in the skillet. After I seasoned the chicken with a little bit of black pepper, I went in with some fresh zucchini, yellow squash, and onion. Both the zucchini and the yellow squash I got at a farm stand near our house, and I am honestly just making this dish up as I go. It was inspired by needing to use up that lemon pesto. So I just was making this up as I went with what I thought sounded good, and these veggies were perfect in this dish. So I'm just going to continue sauteing this together. I want my chicken to be just done. I don't want to dry it out, and I want my veggies to be crisp tender. So getting those finished up here in the skillet. I had a half a bag of these real bacon bits in my refrigerator, and I knew that would provide an additional layer of flavor. So I just went ahead and poured those in over top, and I have my water up to a boil in another little kettle, and I'm going to add in these tricolor cheese tortellinis. I got these at Kroger. I've used these before, but it's been a good while since I've bought these. They are great for all kinds of recipes. They cook up, I think the package said 2 to 3 minutes. You cannot beat pulling something out of your freezer and having it cooked up that quickly. And I love the tricolor that these are. They're perfect. And then here is my lemon pesto sauce from Trader Joe's. I did show me using that, probably a month or so back in a recipe. So I wanted to get that finished off and get that used up out of the fridge. So after everything was done here in the pan, I just added in what was left of that jar, and I'm going to let this simmer together, come up to temperature on the sauce there, and then now these, of course, are done so quickly. I'm just very gently folding those in this sauce. I went in in, which is a little bit of dried parsley flakes on top. And I want to say about this dish and about that sauce, it is really, really flavorful. It doesn't take very much. I'd say you could probably get 3 meals out of that one small jar with just like maybe a heaping tablespoon and a half. Really goes a long way, and it is just so, I can't say it enough, that it's just a really good flavorful sauce. And so you really don't need much else with it, but there's all kinds of things you could do with that. We loved this. It was so, so good. We didn't have another single thing to go with it. I just used our large pasta bowl here, served this up. It had the chicken, it had the pasta, it had the veggies. It was just perfect. And a little sprinkle of Parmesan on top, and we were good to go. So highly recommend trying something like this. If you can't get your hands on that Trader Joe's lemon pesto, any type of sauce would be great on this. A red sauce, you could use an Alfredo. This one was really, really good. And if the previous meal was the best looking, this definitely is the runner-up. Look how delicious. And this tasted as good as it looks, maybe even better, as good as a restaurant. This was so delicious. So let me tell you how we came about having this meal. I came down one morning and James had laid out a package of T-bone steaks, and that let me know that that's what he was wanting. So perfect, that was fine. Here's what I decided to do. I sauteed up a fresh little plum tomato with a red onion, and this was what I needed to use up. It was pre-cooked white rice. So I put that in with the onion and the tomato, and I'm using the Sazon Goya seasoning. I have only used this for rice. I know you can use it in all kinds of things, but I have used it for rice and I love it. It's so easy. It's just about all the seasoning that you need. And I did not set my rice out long enough to kind of come to room temperature. It was still pretty cold, but I'm just over low heat. I'm just gonna let this already cooked and cooled rice come back up to temperature. Like I said, over low heat. I put in about maybe 1/4 cup of water after I put that seasoning in, and I just let this kind of slowly reheat. So you can definitely pre-cook rice extra if you're making it and keep it in your fridge until you're ready to use it. So that's what I did here, and let me say that seasoning makes a really good Mexican inspired or flavored rice. Just the tomato and the onion in here, and it was awesome. So I am making arroz con carne. I was gonna do arroz con pollo, which is with the chicken, but when James laid out the steak, I knew that would be just as delicious, maybe even more so. So here is the rice all done. And this is the queso I'm using. I buy this at Costco, but you could use any white queso. And then here is James grilling up these T-bone steaks. He's getting these all cut up for us, and then we just plated it up. So rice went down on the bottom. We put our steak and cheese all over top. I made with an avocado. I made like a little avocado salad, not really guacamole, but just some red onion in that, some garlic. So good. And then I had a little bit of sour cream and a tortilla on the side for mine. James didn't want the tortilla, but otherwise he had the same thing. But this was so good. We had leftovers and it tasted just as good the next day. Now this was a little unexpected treat. These are turkey tenderloins. This is called turkey crack, I'm told. This was given to my husband from his boss. This is something that he orders, I guess, once a year, and he ordered one for James. And so they're just these turkey tenderloins that are marinated in this delicious tasting marinade. So I just put those in the crock pot and put them on low. When I took them out, I'd been gone all day. I just shredded them up. I wasn't even really sure, since I didn't really know what this was or what the flavor would be, how I was going to use these. But what we decided was on something very quick and easy. We just used plain old white bread, put some Duke's mayonnaise on it, and put this turkey. And it really reminded us of, you know how it is the day after Thanksgiving, at least this is how it is around here and with our extended families. You just love a good turkey sandwich with that leftover turkey. Little salt, pepper, mayonnaise on soft white bread. It just hits the spot. I put some tomato slices on mine, the tiniest little tomato. And this was so, so good. We could have done something else with this, but we both thought this sounded good. Like I said, I'd been gone all day. We were ready to eat. This was quick. It was so good, and I had plenty of this left over. We even shared some. I had plenty of this left over. We served some on family night last week. I told you I was going to tell you about it this week, and I put some in the freezer as well, so that'll be great when I pull it out the next time. But this was a really yummy, sort of unexpected treat that really hit the spot. Hey guys, I'm putting together one more freezer meal. This one is a teriyaki beef. And so in a small bowl, since there's so many various like liquid ingredients, I'm gonna do it in the bowl instead of just dumping it in the bag. So it calls for garlic, soy, it calls for sesame vinegar, sesame oil vinegar, some ginger, some honey, and some onion. So I'm going to get this sauce all mixed up here. Of course, the directions will be below the whole recipe. I found this one online. I am making this to take to a friend who had a baby. I'm also going to take a bag of frozen broccoli. She can put that in the slow cooker whenever she wants. And maybe, you know, like close to the end of the cook time. And then I'm going to take some rice. It calls for rice wine vinegar. I only have red wine vinegar. That's going to be fine. Also calls for fresh ginger. I don't have it, so I'm just going to do a sprinkle of dry. And I think that is, oh, we got to add in our honey. Smelling good already. Let's get the honey in here. Couple of tablespoons. I think that's good. And now I got to chop up some onion in there. It says sliced onion, so I'm going to get that in there now too. Okay, I added just a little bit more honey. I just kind of gave it a little taste. It just needed, it's a little bit more sweet. Now it does call for sriracha and red pepper flakes, but I'm making this for a family that has littles, and I'm going to leave that out, and they can add heat to it if they want to when they eat it. So here is the chuck roast. This is nighttime, you guys, so I don't know, feels like the lighting is, and of course my pendant lights leave a nice bright spot. But okay, so there we go. Nice roast in there. Let's pour in this marinade slash sauce. Okay, we have it all in there. The roast is still just a little bit frozen, which is fine. I'm going to be taking this to her to church in the morning, and then she can just put this in her crock pot for Monday. The rice is ready, and like I said, I'm taking a bag of broccoli. So I will link this recipe below. And I encourage you, if you haven't made a meal and taken someone a meal in a while, somebody that maybe has had a baby or isn't feeling well or something like that, it's just such a kind, sweet thing to do. That is such a blessing. Okay, I'm showing you this rice. What I've done is done rice. This is jasmine rice. Did it in my rice steamer, and I will let this cool, and I will bag it in a Ziploc and take that to them as well, so they can serve their teriyaki beef and broccoli over the rice. Now, this is a bowl for James. I made some extra, and comment down below and let me know, do you like rice with butter and sugar and a little milk in it? So like a sweet rice. We grew up having a sweet rice like this for breakfast every now and then, kind of like oatmeal, but just rice. And sweeten it however you want, but we just did a little sugar, a little butter, and a little bit of milk in there. If you haven't had that, you should. It's delicious. No, it's not breakfast time. This is a nice little snack whenever you want one, or a meal, or however you want to eat it. But if you haven't tried it, try it. But if you have, leave me a comment down below. All right, now I'm going to bring you in the kitchen with me for a busy evening of getting all sorts of things done. All right, does that sound okay? I've just finished putting together the meal that you just saw that I'm taking to a friend, and now I'm cooking up this pot sticker ramen soup to take to church the next day on Sunday. I have cooked up these pot stickers in my air fryer. I just let them cool a little bit, got them in this Ziploc bag, and then today I'm already going to go ahead this evening and prep the broth and cook the noodles. So that's what I've done. And I wish I had just cooked the noodles at church, but I just went ahead and cooked them and let this cool down and put it in the refrigerator. They were great, but I like them a little bit more firm than what they were. But I just brought this to temp at church, put the pot stickers in it, and it was a big hit. I'll have that linked down below. I also had made some banana bread the day before, so I'm cutting up. I cut a nice sized piece, wrapped it in wax paper, and I am putting in this cute little bag. I try to always keep some seasonal things that I can take treats to people. Giving gifts is something that I absolutely love to do. So look how quick and easy that was, and I am taking this to give to someone, and that helps us to get through a loaf of banana bread that otherwise is just too much for the two of us. So again, just be generous and share with people, give them little treats. It just makes everybody happy. Also, I am prepping this for church tomorrow, and I decided to go ahead and make it after I got it all prepped up. So I'm making a pineapple cobbler. So I used 2 cans of pineapple with the juice, and then, like I said, I had decided that I was going to take this and put it together at church the next morning, and then I decided, no, I'm going to do it now. So I went ahead and just mix these together, and I always do my cobblers the same way, the cup of cobbler. So a cup of milk, a cup of self-rising flour, a cup of sugar, and then some butter on whatever fruit you are using. And in this case, the pineapple. One of you sweet viewers had left me a comment probably a year ago or longer about a pineapple cobbler, which I had never thought of. And I have made it once before and showed it on my channel, but I'm making it again to take it to church. And it was also a big hit. Everyone really loved it. I just warmed this up there as well and served it with some vanilla ice cream. It was so, so good. So if you haven't had a pineapple cobbler, I encourage you to give it a try. I like to leave all the juice. I put that in first, the fruit with its juice, and then I pour the other ingredients all over top and dot it with butter, and I usually bake it at 350 for about 45 minutes to an hour until it is all done. And look how beautiful this one looked. And the last thing I'm going to show you are these little treats made with Rolos and pretzels and a couple different options for topping them. I like to buy the rollers that are already unwrapped. It makes it go so much quicker. No one wants to spend all this time unwrapping Rolos. But you just put down on a baking sheet your pretzels. You can use the little waffle pretzel style shape or this shape. This is the base for your little sweet treat. So once your Rolos are down, I think the traditional way is to put the pecan on top, which makes it like a little turtle candy. But it's also really, really great to put a slice of Granny Smith apple on there. It's such a fun seasonal way to have these. The green looks really neat on there, and it tastes really, really good. You just want to put your apple slice maybe a little bit smaller than what I did on this particular instance, just so you can pop the whole thing in your mouth and have a great one bite finger food treat. And here they are. Aren't those so fun? And of course the one with the pecan on top is so pretty. Last year I actually made up this big basket full of goodies, all homemade goodies except for little chocolates. And this was for our youngest, well, not our youngest anymore, but for our, at the time, youngest grandson, Conrad. So I put those little apple bites right in the center of that. These are a really fun, easy, seasonal treat if you need to go to a party or take something to a little cookout or a bonfire. These are really perfect for any occasion. Brings us to the end this week, you guys. I hope you're doing well. Always appreciate when you spend some time here with me in my kitchen. I will see you guys the next time, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.